I honestly can't remember the last time Apple held an event that lasted more than an hour. Heck, the iPad event was 38 minutes, Scary Fast was 30, and fine. The previous WWDC was 2 hours, but it had to be because Vision Pro took most of it. This year we had no hardware, and yet in 1 hour and 40 minutes, I'd say we had a decent understanding of what Apple is doing for iOS 18, iPadOS 18, watchOS 11, visionOS 2, and macOS Sequoia. Some were good, others, like Apple Intelligence, were great, and then some were a blend of either cool and really disappointing. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and it's time for another deep dive into why you should care about everything that got announced at WWDC 2024. It's interesting how Apple left their AI endeavors for the end of the show, because from the start with visionOS 2, we were already hearing about spatial photos and how these will use machine learning to turn any photo in your library into a 3D image, and then you can share these with other users with a live share mode. And then visionOS 2 will also support more display sizes for the Mac, graduating from the basic 16:9 4K to a larger option and then ultra-wide, though specifics on resolution weren't provided. Still, all these things are great for productivity in theory, as I have not met yet anybody that does not complain about the Vision Pro and wearing it for more than an hour. For gaming, Apple has created a tabletop API, which is really cool, enabling developers to design board games for Vision Pro that project onto a table, eliminating the need for physical game pieces. Additionally, Apple has announced that Vision Pro will be available internationally, so more people outside the United States will be able to get it. All these are great ideas, at least in theory. We just wonder how well things will pan until the hardware gets lighter and easier to wear. Now, the fact that iOS 18 was strapped so close to the beginning of the keynote tells you this is not the best that they left for last. If anything, I'd say a ton of the rumors were spot on in this being more of a minor update in logical functionality. For example, your ability to change the color of your icons into themes, or being able to arrange them in whichever order you want on your home screen, has been long overdue. That said, the dark mode enhancement of icons is pretty cool. The updates to Control Center and allowing you to have pages of controls that can save you a trip to the Settings app is also pretty nice, though yeah, also long overdue. Unlocking and locking individual apps with Face ID also sounds awesome, but it's also pretty late. And actually, not even new to iOS. I've been doing that with WhatsApp, Telegram, and Outlook for a while. What makes this approach unique, though, is that it has far more reach in keeping notifications even more private. I also like the added security in sharing your Bluetooth information with apps, because it does annoy me for services to ask for this all the time just to know what other devices I have. In the Messages app, you now get options for new tapbacks, which is fine, but cool is how Apple is introducing messages via satellite, which ensures messaging is available to you and end-to-end encrypted even when you don't have a cellular network. I'm also hoping the updates to Photos finally help me control the clutter on my camera roll, because we're all hoarders of data here, which then makes us pay for more iCloud. My second favorite update is what Cupertino is finally doing with the Apple Watch. Pretty much all my complaints are getting addressed. watchOS 11 now doesn't just pester you with closing rings every day, you can actually even mute those on your rest days. And this is because you can now finally track your fitness progression on your Apple Watch through Fitness Load, pretty much like a Garmin does. These insights let you know if you should rest or if you're overtraining or undertraining based on your progression. This reason alone makes me want to try this beta like right now. I've been asking this forever. Additionally, a new Vitals application is genius. It'll monitor your overall health metrics over time and alert you if something unusual is being detected based on your results over time. If, for example, alcohol consumption is affecting your sleep, which is one of the reasons I actually dropped my alcohol intake, which I learned from my Garmin. I've always felt Apple Health has collected so much information from you and just needed a better way to portray it and provide you the right insights, which is exactly what we're getting. This alone is major. Everything was going well, up until Apple started talking about iPadOS. I mean, the themed icons, placing them anywhere, or the dark mode adaptation of icons is fine. Even the floating tab UI is okay. Increasing the speed of animations thanks to extra processing power is also welcomed, and sure, it's cool that developers get access to that API. And listen, I was also laughing when the calculator app was announced, but guys, Math Notes is freaking awesome. I have to say, it's probably the coolest implementation of artificial intelligence on a math application that I've ever seen. It is seriously genius. My problem is everything that wasn't addressed. Seriously, I don't care if the iPad runs or doesn't run macOS. What we really want is a better Files app. The iPhone treatment of files is what cripples these M-powered supercomputers into becoming neutered tablets. I can understand how Apple wants to make app deployment between iOS and iPadOS easier for developers, but how should that be a consumer problem? Yet again, I struggle with the concept of an iPad Pro that's more expensive than a Mac, is just as powerful, but yet crippled by a stubborn approach to software. Oh well. But anyways, macOS brought some pretty neat updates. Surely controlling your iPhone on your Mac is something Windows has been able to do for years, but you gotta love how the Mac can now do it without the iPhone being bothered at all. The direct export to the iPhone alone is pretty awesome. Now, Keychain in macOS Sequoia has been upgraded to a full-fledged password manager capable of generating and storing all your passwords securely. This was long overdue. I always have a problem finding that app. This application will be available across all Apple platforms and even on Windows, potentially making it one of the best password managers whenever it launches later this year. Safari has also undergone a complete overhaul. A new viewer setting brings videos to the front of any page, and a quick summary feature allows you to get brief overviews of articles with a single click, which again is powered by AI. Apple is also enhancing its gaming capabilities using the Metal Gaming API to create a unified gaming platform across all its devices. The Games Porting Toolkit 2 will make it easier for developers to then port their games to macOS, and the titles coming to the M-powered devices looks pretty awesome. Like the case of Assassin's Creed Shadows, this is seriously making the Mac look great for gaming, and the fact that you apparently can also use these on the iPad is even better. But finally, for the most interesting news today, I think we have to give it to Apple Intelligence. See, generative AI has been a major focus in the tech industry for the last year or two. Now the company is jumping into the game, but with a different approach, and not calling it artificial intelligence. They call it Apple Intelligence. See, AI is cool, but if it lacks your data, it's not as useful, but then you're in the conundrum of having to share your data with some other service. Apple's solution is to do both on-device and also server solutions through private cloud compute that's powered by Apple Silicon in a way that keeps your data safe and provides the contextual information that artificial intelligence needs. As a result, you get a ton of generative AI features you see from competitors, but this time more tailored to you. For example, Smart Notifications is able to highlight and prioritize what's important to reduce clutter. Sure, you can auto-generate emails and tweak them, but given its context awareness, it can be more adapted to your way of writing. Yes, you can generate images or enhance them, but because it has access to your contacts, it knows who your mom is and helps you create an image for your mom. Yes, it has access to your calendar, but now it knows that if an email just arrived that could bring an appointment that comes in conflict with your personal plans, you can get a heads up and even map data of your commute to help you plan accordingly. Siri is getting a major redesign to now become a more useful tool to assist in these tasks. I like how it can now help you even if you get the language wrong in the commands. And then even text commands get improvements. For anything that's more complicated, I like how the UI can admit to it and then get assistance from ChatGPT 4. Now, what's interesting though is that all of this seems to be free, but there's a catch. If you're an Apple Silicon user, you're fine, even up to carrying a base M1, so that's great. The problem is if you're on an iPad with anything that's not an M chip, meaning the base iPad, iPad mini, and older iPad Air, or if you're pretty much any iPhone user that doesn't have the A17 Pro, which narrows it down to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. Seems that you won't be in luck to get any of this, and I assume it has to do with RAM, though we do hope that Apple pulls a Google simply in giving those people that don't have that level of horsepower to get everything from the cloud, but we'll have to see. To conclude, what can I say? Apple is clearly on a mission to catch up with AI. A lot of these features are not even on the current developer beta, so I wouldn't jump on any of these until the public betas are available in July. Still, I do praise watchOS 11, particularly macOS Sequoia, and Apple Intelligence. The rest of the updates are honestly not what I'd call great. But hey, we'll have to see what we get in the fall, as it wouldn't be the first time that Apple ends up launching more by then. Let me know what you think about our assessment in the comments down below. And while you're at it, follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on my personal handles to see me dream about a better iPad OS someday. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.